Hydroponics is an exciting concept, but most projects are difficult to make especially viable because they tend to focus only on the technology and the growing. Data suggests that it will be difficult to really feed a city from an indoor system, which has limitations on the size and variety of crops in limited space.
Could grow. There isn't a single crop grown in Nigeria that everything you see here modified. It doesn't even take much modification, just a different type of planting. It can be grown here. So yes, we can grow yam on this farm if we want.
We are doing what we're doing now, basically herbs and vegetables, because this is the city farm model. With the farm, our major farm is at Ekpe, at Ilara area, part of Ekpe, Lagos State, where we have a 30-acre farm, and then which we are developing in phases. That we have different sections for different produce, for different crops, for all manner of agricultural produce. In fact, that is going to be tailored more for exports, to be honest. But this is for us to bring our initiative, our idea, our business plan to the people, and do it where it is very accessible. We are trying in our own capacity to, spread the gospel. What gospel are we spreading? Is that you must infuse innovation and technology with anything you're doing, in every sector that you are. And this is a clear demonstration of that. We are growing soil, this is soilless farming. We're using a cocoa coir, the shell of coconut. That's what we're growing with. It's not expensive, rather. So you don't have to do it in towers like this to say that it is elitist or it is for the modern people, for the rich people. No. So it is according to your plan and budget. You go to greenhouses, most of them, they don't even use towers, But this is, you can call this a greenhouse, but this is, suspended roof vertical farming. Do you get what I mean? So basically, anybody can do this. It is just to cut your coats according to your size. When you have the budget, in as much as you told the, the cocoa coir inputs, if you don't use soil, you're already on the right track. You can hardly get it wrong. Because when you use cocoa coir, it retains water longer than soil. And then it keeps the crop, it keeps it very nurtured. We feed our own plants a minute, 2 minutes every hour. So that is not, we're not feeding them around the clock, as you may know. And then with this model, with this design, you can basically grow anywhere. But we have told this direction because we want to start from the city. And then with the yield that you get from this kind of growing, look at it, for every pot now we have for every tower, you have 6 pots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So and you can plant up to 8 to 10 seeds in a pot. So if you plant it, that's 48 plants altogether that you're going to harvest. So for you to plant this in a traditional farm model, you need a lot of space to do that. And that we have done in just one tower. What is the size of this land? This is all that is standing on the floor. So with this model, it looks like it is the city is expensive, but you can actually grow more here. Our yield from this farm is that of a 10-acre farm. This is 1,268 square meter. And then the yield from here, given this design of planting, your yield is actually more compared to that of a 10-acre farm. So with so doing, you're maximizing the space in the city. So when you look at it very well, it is almost commensurate to you even having to go and grow on a big farm that's even in the bush. So you can grow in the city, you can actually yield more, and that's why it actually made sense. If we had to grow in the soil, and then we have to do it traditionally, they won't be able to afford this place, because that way we will not have enough yield to sell to to cater for the maintenance of the farm, and even as profit for the business owners.
Hydroponics system is an intriguing experiment that has had success in arenas that have a high demand for freshness and variety, especially in restaurants. Hydroponic systems use water and a non-soil growing medium to provide plants with nutrients. Nutrients added to the water are fed to the plants in a variety of ways. Bubble systems lift nutrients to plant roots with a constant supply of bubbles in the water, while a wick system feeds nutrients and water via a wick. A reservoir is responsible for holding both the water and nutrient solutions. Hydroponic systems are essentially hands-on when it comes to feeding the plant. Everything is usually done automatically aside from the addition of the nutrient solution. Its virtues relative to conventional agriculture have long been clear. The climate can be controlled year-round, pests can be minimized, and with them the use of pesticides. Water and nutrients can be applied in precise quantities. By going up rather than out, a vertical farm can produce more food per hectare of land, and by siting close to an urban area, it can reduce long distribution chains, getting fresher food to customers' tables quicker. Its drawbacks have become equally clear. They mainly come down to cost. Farming well requires deep know-how and expertise. It has proven extraordinarily difficult to expand vertical farms in a way that holds quality consistent while driving costs down. Optimizing production at a small scale is very different from doing so at a large scale. There are so many young farmers who have abandoned the farm disillusioned. Now, Gartner Calloway think they have cracked the code. They have an expansion plan and they're building a much bigger farm in Ekpe,
which is more catered to exports, wholesale, and other product lines, not just niche product lines like what we're doing in the city, which is for a niche market that also have a need. So we're taking it step by step, stage by stage in terms of our development and our growth. The systems are completely flexible in terms of what can be grown. Almost anything can really be grown with 3 of the systems we use. In terms of the high density system, it can grow local vegetables. Our grow bags, they can grow cash crops, local vegetables. So we have something for every price bracket, in essence. So those that can't afford one system, we have something for them. If they can't afford the middle range, we have the low range for them, and all systems are equally as effective.
There are virtually no pests in a controlled indoor environment. The Sustainability City Farm doesn't have to use pesticides or herbicides. The owners say their produce is organic relative to conventional agriculture. These farm owners say they can get much more produce out of a given acre of land using less water.
Irrigate from the top, it drips down all the pots. Now, because we're using the cocoa coir, it has good water suction capabilities. So it sucks up the water and the nutrients as it's going down. Then it recirculates back into our irrigation room, into a sump. Then automatically goes back into the irrigation tank that comes back out. So it reduces the amount of water and nutrients that we're consuming. Now also for urban planning, this is also a very important point, because as we're in the city, we're not clogging up the drains and having all those kind of issues, because everything that's being used for irrigation is being recirculated till the plants fully consume it, and we now have to replenish it from the nutrient tank, which is part of our irrigation room automation process. Now in terms of pest control, because we're using hydroponics and a lot of our systems are elevated from the ground, we already eliminate a lot of the major pest issues. Then the soil we're using, which is the cocoa coir, has a sterile medium. So the major pest issues we have are minor pest issues like caterpillars and aphids, which come with naturally with vegetation. So even if we were abroad in a high-tech, fully controlled greenhouse, you would still have these minimal pests because the vegetation just attracts them. So what we do to control that, we use neem oil and we use something called diatomaceous earth, which are all food-grade organic means of controlling pests.